Welcome to Lunch Break. We get an hour lunch, so we're spending 15 minutes of it each day to talk about whatever. So, let's begin the week.
Lunch break.
Lunch break.
It's what the hell is it? It's
Tuesday.
We didn't
skip yesterday
Yeah,
because
we
I had
didn't.
a
Yeah,
meeting.
fuck Monday.
Yeah, fuck Monday.
Yeah,
Monday.
bro. Last episode was weird because I don't know how I managed it because I've never done that before. But the intro to last episode is it's not even there. There's no intro.
It just starts.
Well, it does a keyboard transition, but there's nothing before it.
Very interesting.
I don't know how I did that. My workflow doesn't even allow for that to happen, so I don't know how the hell I did it.
Some glitch in the matrix.
I guess.
Would you like
Doesn't
to
really
talk
matter.
about-
It's not worth fixing.
Yeah.
No.
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 What?
Would you like to talk about this weekend?
Oh, what? I don't know. What's happening this weekend?
We went to.
Oh,
a
last
bonfire.
weekend. I guess it's still this weekend.
I don't know when it was. It feels like it's too close to last weekend to be this weekend, but I don't know. English is difficult.
I don't know.
We went to Nathaniel and Tatiana's house.
Yes.
I recorded a Spanish video and we lit a fire.
Right.
Tatiana cooked really good steaks.
Yar. Those steaks were dope.
The steaks son muy buenos.
Right.
Very good steaks.
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, we just hung out. We basically, because it was raining the entire time, and we wanted to hang out by the fire, we just all wore ponchos. So we were just all out there getting rained on in ponchos, making, cooking hot dogs and stuff over the fire and stuff.
That was very pleasant.
It was cool. Yeah. And the dogs you bought were actually really good,
Yeah.
which is cool.
Good old brats.
I was worried that they were going to taste very strange, but they were good.
Nothing tastes better than food cooked over a fire.
Cake?
If it was cooked over a fire, it would taste even better.
I don't know. Can you? I don't think you could bake a cake over a fire.
I'm sure you could if you tried hard enough.
Or if you had one of those big ovens, like a pizza oven.
Yeah.
That's like a fire. What do you call it? Like a fire.
A
Stoked,
Dutch oven? I don't know.
I guess maybe, where it's heated with flame, or whatever.
Probably has some weird French name.
I would like to make pizzas sometime. We were talking about that again.
We could try doing it this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it would be cool. It could be a total disaster, but it could also be really dope, I think. I need to get the bill stuff set up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Holy shit, I need to do that for this month, today, as soon as I get home. My bank account looks so bad. It's just been bad for a long time. Now that John's able to pay, though, so, there's that going for me.
Should look pretty good soon.
Yeah, I hope things are consistent and going back up again.
We've both passed the test.
Yeah, except there's the next one, and now, but that's good. It's good that you passed it. That's dope. It's epic. But the writing one
Apparently it's not written.
is not written, which is so fucking weird. We've been thinking about it as a written test. I've been talking to everyone about it as if it was a written test, and only do I hear about this right now.
Yeah, everyone up to this point has talked about it as if it's a written test. And then I asked for clarification. I was like, so is the written test just like the multiple choice question, only you write it down instead? And they were like, it's not written. It's all multiple choice. Like, well, why the fuck is it called a written test then?
Yeah, I think it's I don't know. I'm going to take it next week on Thursday and just see how it goes. So I'm going to, quote unquote, study. I'm going to do the Quizlet, and I might look over some of the course stuff that we did.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. I don't even think I'm going to touch that study guide that person made. It's kind of a lot going on in there. And a lot of it seems maybe a little redundant anyway. So, yeah. There's part of me that's thinking, I might just fucking nail it. It might be fine. So.
I hope so.
Yeah.
It would be nice to pass it first try.
Yeah. And just, not even have to worry about it again.
I don't know of anyone that's done that.
Yeah. I don't see why I wouldn't. I can't, all of the concepts, I feel like I have a pretty good understanding of. I think that I'm pretty confident that I don't know. I'm pretty confident.
What's the difference between an ODN and an OCU?
An ODN and an OCU. An ODN is a node, and a OCU is like pretty sure that's like out by a customer. Pretty sure.
I see.
ODN. What's the stand for? Optical distribution node, and then an OCU is a optical customer unit or something.
I don't know. I always get confused with the ICU, which is like the intensive care unit or something.
Yeah, I mean, I just look for the one that has in it, because one of them's going to be a node, surely. And the nodes are always going to be either centralized or away from equipment. And then you'll have different variations of setup. Like if you have fiber to the curb, then it just means that fiber runs from the node to the curb side and then goes into, I guess, an ODU or a FAT, whatever it may be.
Can't say that, it's offensive.
And then that's broken into coaxial and then fed to the customer for distribution. And then like there's the differences between like a fiber distribution hub and a FAT, which is pretty obvious. Like one of the questions I think is probably going to be related to that based on the Quizlet stuff, which is just like a fiber distribution hub is just like a place where there's like a ton of stuff happening. There's a lot of different kinds of equipment and splitters and stuff. And a FAT is just like a single piece of equipment that's like in the field, and it's easier to set up and cheap and small. And then whatever. Yeah. And then like when it comes to the coax stuff, it's like, I mean, it's just the stuff that I do at work. So it's not really like, I don't know. There's nothing really that new about it. Some of the questions are like does an EDFA, what are the advantages of using an EDFA? And it's like low signal loss, I guess. Like they're good at that or whatever. Sometimes.
Something to do with attenuation?
Yeah. Like low attenuation or something, or high, whatever. Like, well, they have like higher attenuation, I think, because they're bigger. They're dealing with like larger networks generally.
Very happy I passed the test, but quite surprised too, because whenever I was taking it, literally nothing I studied on the Quizlet was in the test.
Yeah, I have no idea. Like I said, like all of my questions were, most of my questions, no, a good chunk of my questions were related to the stuff that we were studying. And then there were like a handful of them that I just remembered from the courses. So like they were definitely in the courses, and I remembered them from there. And then yeah, like, and then all the ones that I got wrong, I like recognized from the courses. I just couldn't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah. I'm a little annoyed that you can't review all the questions from the courses, only the ones you missed.
Yeah.
I feel like that would have helped me a lot if I could review all the questions again.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know how to study the course. Like, I felt like I almost feel like just doing all of the courses again would be the best thing to do to study, but it takes too long because they made them too long. Like, they're just outrageously wordy for no reason.
It takes like 40 hours. There's
no reason for there to be that much information in there. Like, it's honestly just outrageous. Like, it's intentionally time-consuming. I'd love to just go back and do it again. Just go through the whole course, just as a solid refresher. And I'm sure going through it the second time, it would be like much easier. I'd, like, catch on to stuff way faster or whatever.
I suppose you could read the course material again, but you
can't
take
retake the tests. Yeah. And all you can do is, like, I guess try to redo I don't even know if you can retake the in-course tests if you're like looking back over them. So
yeah, I don't know.
And then there was that final like study guide material thing that it spits out at the end, that you could study, that I kind of glanced at, but I don't know. I can try to look through that or something. But yeah, it's whatever. I'm just gonna fucking try to do it. It wouldn't make any sense to me if I did it and then I got out of it and I'm like, yeah, that's really hard and I have no idea. That would be really weird because surely there's a theme. Like, surely I would take it and be like, oh, there's an obvious certain set of things that I need to be focusing on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I can't imagine it would be that hard because, again, I've already there's nothing that's going to be in it that wasn't in the courses. And there's not really too much about the courses that I didn't understand, other than it just took a fucking long time to read it. So, yeah. Except for some of the bits at the end where the courses got really fucking boring. And, yeah.
You just drool on and on and
Yeah.
on. I feel like a lot of the time that you spend in the courses is just rereading it because it's so boring that your brain's like, ugh.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to even pay attention to this. Yeah. Yeah. And there were, like, some weird specific parts of it that I was, like, more interested in, that I, like, found fascinating. Like, I feel like I remember a lot of the stuff about what, like, the engineers do with the actual splicing stuff. Like, you know, they go in there and they,
all
like,
the hands-on stuff is interesting.
right. They, like, pull a fiber in and fucking...
You get to use equipment.
Yeah.
Press buttons.
And they, like, chop it to I think, like something crazy, like 3 feet of, like, cable at the end, and then they separate it, and they deep lash whatever them, and then separate the cables, and then clean them off, and then you cleave them, and then you put them into the thing, you know, and it splices them.
The frenulus and the mating adapter lines the two ends together.
Yeah, well, most of it's automatic. It depends if you're doing a manual or like a fusion splice. The fusion splice machine just does it. Like, you just kind of like center them in there, and then it goes yep, and like puts them together. And then once it's done, you take it, move it from the splicey thingy, and put it into the coolie thingy and close it. And then when that's done, you lift it out and you pull the sleeve on it. You put a sleeve on it before you do any of this. After you cleave it, you slide the sleeve on. And so that when it's done cooling, you move the sleeve. Oh, well, you do that before you cool it even. You do the heating thing. So after it's done fusing, you move the sleeve to the center, and then you put it into the heat thing, and it goes, close it, it goes, shh. And then when that's done, you pull it out. And then at that point, you always want to handle it by the sleevey bit, because that's the strongest part of the cable after it's been fused. And then you do your next splice. And also, before you do any of that, you want to do a bunch of test splices, or test cleaves, but splices as well, just to make sure that your equipment's working correctly and everything's good. Like, that whole process makes sense. Don't stand on the top 2 rings of a ladder. Because that would be really stupid.
It says that on every ladder.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I don't know.
I feel like I was taught that in like elementary school.
Yeah. Like, don't throw shards of glass into the trash can. Throw them into the thing that you put them in that makes sense to put them in. Wear protective glasses and gloves, because you don't want shards of glass in your eyes and your hands. Like,
don't leave fluid all over the ground.
Right. Yeah, like the lubricants or whatever. Like, don't fucking get lubricant all over yourself. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, everything seems pretty straightforward. And then there's like weird things, like when they're pulling the line onto the poles, you know, like they use the truck, and they have to make sure the truck is like pointing directly away from the end of the line, and then the thing needs to be double the height and distance from the truck, I guess, so that the stuff reels properly. And then fucking when you're putting cable up onto strand, you need to make sure that like coax and fiber are like 30 inches apart from each other is like the minimum distance, and then like the minimum slack loop or like looping that you would have is 15 feet or 15 I guess feet, yeah, but it can be up to like 25. Like, I don't know, it seems pretty straightforward. I can't imagine like how many questions what are they like, like, what's it called when there's a reflection in the fiber optic cable? It's like, it's a Fresnel reflection or whatever. It's going to be in the multiple choice. That's going to be obvious. Like, that's like, what is that called? And it's like, it's when there's a reflected light at any point at which one cable ends and another cable starts. You'll get these reflections because there's a piece of glass that's like in the way.
I don't really entirely understand what is different about the second exam than the first one.
I don't think that there is anything different. That's honestly where I'm at now. Because like
Is it
again,
just like
at first I
part
was
two?
like, it must be really hard. It's a written test. But now it's like, oh, it's just the same thing again.
I don't get why people fail it all the time too.
I mean, I guess the questions are like way more specific. So all of the things that I'm referencing are probably not going to be in there very much or something. I don't know. Like, because that's the only way that would make sense to me is if all of the stuff that I know is like not going to be good enough and I need to learn all of the hyper specific stuff about it that I didn't pay attention to. There's going to be some math related stuff, but like most of it's pretty self-explanatory. Like, it's, you have the frequency in that, and it gives you all the information you need. Like, if the cable is this sheath size, like point whatever, then that's going to affect the amount of loss you have. But it's not going to just tell you the cable sheath size is this. What's the loss factor? It's not going to do that. It's going to go, the cable sheath size is this, and it has a loss of this. Or at this sheath size and at this frequency, it has this loss. And then it's going to go on to give you the question. Because it wouldn't make sense for them to be like testing to see if you know what the loss values are for every single freaking cable sheath size. Like, that's insane. So it's going to give you all the information you need in order to do the math. So you just have to like use your brain and add or subtract numbers. So, or like be able to read it and comprehend what it's saying. But like 90% of the information is going to be useless. You only need like 2 numbers and any possible equation that involves any of that. So it's going to throw like a bunch of numbers at you to try to confuse you. Like, here's the sheath size. Here's the wave. Here's the frequency of the cable. Here's the whatever. But you might only need to know like what's the distance of the run. What's the loss value on this particular type of cable, and whatever. And I'm trying to learn all kinds of shit that isn't in any of the information, like weird specific things, like when how much loss there is between tap values, when none of that information is ever going to show up on the test because they never even talked about it during the courses, but it's relevant in what I do. So, yeah, just a bunch of hyper specific stuff. Yep.
It is time to return.
I can't believe that. I've just sat here and yammered on about the most technical garbage shit. Hopefully none of it will be relevant anymore very soon. If we just take those tests and get through it. I don't have to ever think about any of this shit again.
Yeah, hopefully. Jesus Christ.
Well, what a really fun first episode of the week.
Welcome back.
Yeah. Good God. Okay. Well, I guess bye.
Bye to Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yay.
Lunch break.
Lunch break.
Lunch break.
Lunch break.
What is it?
Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
What'd you have for lunch today?
An egg?
An egg? Like Dunkin' egg? I had some oatmeal.
I just had a hard-boiled egg.
How was work today?
Sorry,
I didn't mean to confuse you by mixing up the questions.
I got a Starburst on the roof of my mouth that's hard to talk. It's really a bad time to be eating a Starburst as I'm doing a podcast.
I can talk about my work while you suckle that thing down.
I could just say that I haven't really done much.
You haven't done anything?
I've done some things.
Name 2 things.
No, you're right. I haven't done anything.
I got a new project. Woo! Yeah,
that's
new project. Cool. Basically, what they want me to do is they want me to combine one project with another project.
Right. That's interesting.
I thought I was going to have to reject the project because I was having that issue again where like the equipment doesn't want to disconnect from the other equipment because it just doesn't feel like it. And then I have to reject it to people and then they have to like look into the matrix to figure out how to fucking disconnect it. I don't understand why I can't look into the matrix and just force it. Like, what do they have that's so special that allows them to disconnect things that refuse to disconnect for me?
I really don't know. I don't know how that shit works.
It's annoying. Like, I should be able to just fucking look into the matrix and just someone teach me how to look into the matrix so I can disconnect this shit. I don't want to reject. Yeah. Like, because like, fucking, they take their assing time sometimes. Like, I have still projects from, like, the beginning of the year that I rejected for this issue. Mm-hmm. And every fucking day, I go in, I click a button that says, has this issue been resolved? No. Please provide a description. I'm like, I need this shit disconnected. I just copy-paste the same fucking message. And then they send me an email, and they're like, we've seen your request, and we'll get to it in our own time. And then I'm like, okay. And then I have a meeting with my supervisor, and he's like, this project's been on hold for 25,000 hours. What's going on here?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, here's the laundry list of fucking comments I'm having back and forth with them. They're like, okay, well, we'll talk to him. And then they talk to him, and it's rinse and repeat.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I probably need to have a lot of construction conversations when I get back. I do the things I do have are all like currently I'm like held up by questions that I'm not really sure about. That makes no. It's always fucking walkout's fault. Every time the people that walked it out, there's always, and not to say that they're all walkouts bad. Like walkout generally does a great job, but whenever they do fuck something up, it sucks so much. And I get a lot of those projects, and like so I have like just like. Also, and then I'll be working, like, it'll be a previous designer went through, saw that there was something not right, and then ignored it and continued to work on the project. So then I get it, and I'm like, what the fuck? There's, like, equipment straight up missing. Like Walkout told them to remove stuff for no reason. Like, critical equipment. Like, where, like, if you were, like, let's say, you like, there's a cable, and then a piece of equipment that is absolutely 100% necessary in order for the signal to go down this cable, and then more cable and more equipment down the line. And then a walkout will just go like, remove that. And you're like, what? Like, you can't remove that. That's not possible. And so that's what happened. And the designer was like, okay, well, and then they made like before prints where they were like, yeah, like, so this just isn't here. And there's like floating branches to the design for no, like, just in their print. And they're like, yeah, that's fine. And then in their design, they went ahead and added in equipment and was like, this is upgrade. I'm adding this in. And it's like, yeah, on one hand, yes, there has to be equipment there. It makes sense that you need to put something there. On the other hand, there has to be equipment there. There's no way that there wasn't something there in the field. We need to ask construction what is actually there so that we can put it in there and have it set to as-built, not upgrade, because they're going to get this. They're going to go out to the field bringing whatever this thing is that you think needs to go into the field. They're going to get there and be like, oh, there's already something here. And we never got that. They never contacted us to find out what's already here.
Yeah.
So, like, what the hell?
It's insane.
So, like, now I'm stuck in this weird place where initially I messed up because it was such a weird thing that I didn't notice it was even a problem when I first did their design. I was like, oh, they upgraded this equipment. No big deal. Like, that's fine. They're allowed to do that. And then, like, I go and look deeper, and now I came back in an audit. So, like, you know, I was QCing their design. I sent it through because I'm like, oh, it's fine to upgrade that. And then now it's coming back, and the audit's like, hey, it was not even talking about that. It wasn't even talking about the thing I'm talking about. I just discovered that afterwards, where I'm like, okay, like, something's broken. I don't know.
Do you ever get walkout projects where there's like a comment chain of like walkout replying to walkout replying to walkout?
Occasionally, it doesn't go very far though.
I got this one the other day where it was like 5 comments deep, and they were like arguing in the fucking walkout piece. I was like, this is not professional whatsoever. But like the first comment was like, check for service, and then the next comment was like, they have a gun and don't want service. And then the next one was like, please check for service. And then another chain was like, I'm not checking this.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I don't know. I mean, I do see weird ones is really all, like, not that, just the other day, I think I may have sent it to you or something. Somebody said something along the lines of like, or no, it was, I don't think I sent this one to you. One of the ones I'm looking at right now is a hospital that refused to let anybody go inside of it. So, and it's like, what the hell? Why not? But like, there's just like construction just being like, yeah, we couldn't go in here. And then like, so not only do they not know what equipment is inside of there, but they also don't know how it's connected. So, the design just like leaves it out. The walkout just like, I don't know. And then the designer went through and just like adjusted the boundary to completely exclude this entire hospital. And I'm just like, surely we have equipment in there. It's just we don't know what it is because they won't let us in. We can't just exclude it from the design. Like, so now I'm like trying to like back and forth figure out what the hell's going on with that. And And my supervisor's super busy, so I can't talk to them at all today.
Super busy.
Yeah, so like they had their account stuff set to like busy until 11 p.m. and I'm like, or 11 a.m. and I'm like, okay, that's a long time, but that's fine because it was like early. And then 11 p.m. or 11 a.m. came. They weren't busy anymore for like a few seconds. I sent them like a small paragraph of stuff, and then it said busy until 1:30 p.m. I'm like, okay, like God damn it. So
Busy until 3:50.
yeah, it just keeps moving forwards.
So would you like to talk about the catastrophe that happened in our city last night?
I guess a fucking plane crashed.
Yeah, it's pretty dramatic.
It's kind of hard to call it a plane crash. I mean, I guess you call a car crash, and it never leaves the ground, but that's kind of what happened to the plane. Like, you know what I mean?
A takeoff malfunction.
Yeah, it wasn't like it flew and then hit the ground. It never left the ground. It just sort of went across the ground and then exploded.
Yeah, that was absolutely horrific.
Yeah, we could see it from the patio. Not the explosion. Weren't that lucky.
Yeah.
But the big the
big
giant
plume.
the plume of smoke rising into the air.
I was like in the middle of working out, and then I had like this timer going off, and then the fucking emergency alert came in, and I was like, oh, is it like an Amber Alert or something?
Yeah.
And I looked, and it was like shelter in place,
Yeah,
emergency at the airport.
It said like emergency, and then like quote or not quotes. What do you call the ones, the two dots that are in there, one above the other?
Quotations?
No, that's the two little bloops. I'm talking about it's just two little dots, but they're like right on top of each other. You know what I mean?
Colon.
Is that a colon?
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah, colon.
But yeah, is that, and then it just said extreme across the top. Like that was the title of the emergency of the notification, and then them being like, an incident occurred at the airport. And it's like, what do you fucking mean an incident occurred? And it's like, shelter in place. Don't leave your house. Basically, it is like, what are you talking about? Like, you please provide a little bit more information than this. I understand it's a fucking alert system and not a news system, but like, come on. You can't just say that.
I feel like when the fucking nukes launch one day, we're going to get an alert just like that.
Yeah, it's going to say emergency extreme, and then it's going to say, like, an incident occurred at the military base. And it'll just be like, shelter in place, all of, northern or eastern or western, I guess, western Kentucky. And I'd be like, okay.
Do not go outside.
Yeah, do not go outside. I'm like, what are you talking about? Look it up. Oh, we've been nuked. Yeah, I don't know. I do think, I don't know. It was bad. The video is crazy. I mostly am like, the most shooken up I am about it is thinking about the pilot. Because like,
that was, oh my God.
Like, that's the thing that scares me the most. Like, people on the ground that got killed by it, that's tragic. And of course that's tragic. But you really didn't see that coming. And if you did, like, you just kind of got like annihilated by a plane. The fucking pilot was in the plane, probably noticed something was wrong and couldn't stop anymore, saw flames shooting out of their wing, and then the plane tips up onto its side and is grinding across the ground on its wing. So the pilot's like sideways looking out the window and seeing a fireball form. The pilot knows he's carrying 2,800,000 fucking gallons of fucking fuel with him, so he knows he's dead, and he's just holding on and hoping that he doesn't kill a whole bunch of people. Like he's the only thing probably going through his head is like, I don't want to murder 1 million people right now.
Yeah.
So like just doing everything he can to not kill people. That is just the most terrifying thing I can possibly imagine. And then he blew up at some point. Like, holy shit. Yeah.
At least if the pilot was a male, at least he appealed to the male fantasy of going out in a blaze of glory.
I guess. I mean, it's less glorious and more just explosion-y. But
a blaze, at least.
Yeah, it went out in a blaze, for sure.
God, that was horrible.
I mean, I'm hoping it was fast as shit for him. I can't imagine it was slow. It was moving pretty quick.
It was like 10 seconds. I'm sure that felt like an eternity.
Right. Yeah. I mean, holy crap, man. And it was a UPS plane, so not like a passenger plane. So, like, There was probably 2 pilots because
Yeah.
it was a UPS. It was probably an overnight flight too because they're going to Hawaii. So there had to be 2 pilots to swap seats. So both of those pilots just holding on for dear life in this freaking sideways cockpit on the ground in the airport. Like, holy shit. That's horrible. 11 people injured. So apparently there were a good amount of people within the flight path.
Yeah. Apparently it hit like a recycling center or something.
Yeah. I only know 11 and 4 killed. I read that last night, so I actually haven't looked at what the death count is now,
Yeah.
and it probably has changed since then. Because it was pretty early or soon. It was only like maybe 4 or 5 hours after it happened, and I'm sure they're still not found. They haven't found everybody. I'd be really, really interested to hear what's on the black box of that plane
Yeah.
to find out like what the hell happened. Did it just like did the engine like go? Did it run away? Was it a runaway engine? And like the engine just like it couldn't be shut off or something? Like at what point during the takeoff was it apparent that there was a problem and that they were unable to stop? Or like, yeah, but I don't know. It's
Who
crazy.
knows? I'm sure someone knows.
I feel like the 2 people that did know are dead, so I don't know if anyone knows.
We also started the Harry Potter book yesterday.
Yeah. Well, I finished it,
Oh, I haven't finished it yet. I still got like 2 hours or so.
and then I started Jurassic Park, and Jurassic Park is fun. I'm digging it. It's very a lot of genetic talk about genetics. They're kind of describing the lore of the world, which is essentially like it exists in this timeline where they discovered how to make like manipulate genetics, and there's no there hasn't been any government like interference with it at all yet because it's so new and but it was so useful, and like there's pretty much like no one on the other side of it like going like, wait, maybe we shouldn't do this. Like pretty much everybody is in general consensus like this is awesome and we should tap into this, because they're able to use it. They're able to use the technology to like do all kinds of incredible things outside of just bringing back fucking weird creatures. So like it was basically just science gone completely out of control, and so lots of people were trying all kinds of experiments. But I don't know, it's just interesting lore of that world because I've always in my head I'm like, oh, it's just some weird scientist like just kind of happened to figure it out. But like no, it's deeper than that. It's more like there was this new technology that sort of exploded across the whole planet, and it was being used in ways that it shouldn't, with very little interference or moral questioning. Kind of like the AI kind of thing,
Yeah.
where it's like this is extraordinarily useful, and how can we not take advantage of it? And there's not very many people that are like, hey, maybe we shouldn't do that. Yeah.
Let's just do it as fast as possible.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I don't want to wait 40 years and be at the end of my lifetime to see cool shit. I want it now.
Blow it up. Get it over with.
Well, they from a expeditionary force. Bad news doesn't age like wine. Like it's like ripping off a Band-Aid. Just got to get it over with as fast as possible.
Yeah. Well, I suppose. John's listening to smooth jazz in his room and coughing.
I thought he was taking a shower.
Oh, he's listening to smooth jazz and showering.
That was pretty nice.
We gotta go.
Yeah, back to work.
Yeah. Yay.
Back to the fun projects and talking to construction walkout.
Yeah.
Waiting for a supervisor when they're busy until 3:59.
Yeah, I don't know if my supervisor is ever going to be available today. All right.
I almost said to Tuesday. To Thursday.
Yar.
Yay, bye.
Lunch break.
Lunch break.
It's, what is it?
Thursday.
Okay.
Happy Thursday. I'd like to offer a sincere apology because I was late. I had to do a Spanish test, so here we are. We're going to have a little bit of a short episode, and then I have to do a double apologies because I don't think I'm going to be here tomorrow because I got another advisement meeting, which that'll probably take up the entire time.
Do we have to leave early for that?
Yeah, well,
Lunch?
instead of taking lunch at 12, we'll take it at 11.
Okay. Is next week normal, though?
Yeah, it should
Time-wise?
be, unless anything else comes up. I'm pretty sure this will be the last advisement meeting. The fucking last advisement meeting I took, because this is going to be the fourth one. The third one was completely pointless because it was just like, yeah, this is just a meeting to make sure that you want to do the thing that you said you already wanted to do or certain about it and signed a contract about it. And now we're just going to set up another meeting so you could do that. And I was like, what the fuck? It's just like pointless bureaucracy.
Yeah.
You'll never believe what happened last night when I was going to bed.
What?
Right, so get this. I laid down, and I laid there for a little bit.
Right.
Shuffled around a little bit, like did some like rolling around, so a little bit of rolling around, and then I closed my eyes and I went to sleep.
Wow. That's crazy.
Pretty crazy.
I slept incredibly normal, except I only got 6 hours or a little over 6 hours because we stayed up too late just fucking talking or whatever.
6 horas.
No. I can't roll anything. It would just sound like sore ass.
6 horas.
6 horas.
Yeah, the H in Spanish is silent.
Right.
So it's not hola.
Yeah.
It's hola.
Right. Yeah, bro, like, I did that test today.
How'd that go?
Didn't. Well, thing is, I honestly thought it was next Thursday. I don't know how that happened. I don't know how I got that fucked up. Like, it was today. It was this week. Maybe I knew that, and like, maybe it was just like yesterday I totally forgot or something. I don't know when that happened, when they got swapped to my brain. But regardless, I'm taking it again, actually next Thursday.
Nice.
This Thursday I took it. I am not sad that I took it. I'm glad that I took it. I got a 61, which is
9 points away from passing.
Right. And like, I know now pretty much exactly what's on it. Like, I get it. Like, I understand that there's a question pool and it was 50 questions. But like, I would say a good half of them are literally on the study guide that I've created, that we put together. And even, especially since doing all the stuff I added last night, those last minute additions to that, almost 100% of those were on there. So now I'm going to like take that other guide that somebody else made way more serious, and all of the stuff that they have in there that is kind of annoying or shittily written, I'm going to rephrase and make into like an actual question that's answerable in multiple choice, and then like put into the thing so that it's actually useful. So today is going to be fully just me organizing and making that Quizlet as packed as I possibly can get it, and also fixing it so that it's as useful when studying as possible. And then I'm just going to binge it all next week until Thursday. And then on Thursday, I think I'm going to pass the shit out of that, because
sounds like a plan.
The main reason why I didn't pass it is because it was all of the math problems in there. Like, I didn't know I was allowed to use a calculator. I just didn't know. At one point, the last like two, I like pulled my phone out and sneakily used a calculator to do the last two and found the right answer. And I was like, oh, it was naughty, you know? But there was like probably, it was a lot of math questions in there. There was probably, I want to say like 8, maybe 9 out of 50. That's a lot. And most of them I just guessed. I just kind of read it and thought to myself, like, what sounds like the right answer here? And then I picked one. So that is almost definitely the reason why I didn't pass. Like, had I not done that, I am extraordinarily confident that I would have passed it.
Yeah.
Because almost all of the questions on there, I was very confident in my answers. Like, there may have been a couple where I was like, I don't know. But every time that happened, I felt zero guilt for being like, fuck it, guess and then move on, you know? Because I had so many like answers I knew were right. So like, now I'm nervous because the next time I take it, who knows what kind of poll of questions I'm going to get. I may have just gotten super lucky and got like a 50 question series of questions that like I happened to be really familiar with. I don't know. But regardless, I do know for a fact that I will be passing this test at some point. I think I should be able to pass it next time. I'm pretty confident that I could pass it just in one shot next time. But worst case, a couple more times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, no more than 4. Like, worst case. Absolute worst case. And you can schedule to take it pretty freaking often. Like, I could take it once a week. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Or more, maybe, depending. If it was like Monday, I can maybe take it Friday. You know?
Got a little bit less than 2 months until we get the yearly raise.
Right.
So hopefully you can get it before that, so we can get a bigger raise.
No problem. I'm almost 100% confident that I will get it before the yearly raise. I'm just hoping I'll have enough time to do the practical test
Yeah.
at the end. But from what I've heard, it's not only is it easy, but they're also very lenient. Like, they're not really that strict about it. So it's more like, just show us that you can do something and then move on. Because we're already working. So it's like we've already proved. I've proven like hundreds of times that I can do my job.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I am punching myself in the face repeatedly all day. Like, I keep having these little moments of like, damn it! Like, because I could have done it. I very well could have passed that test on the first try. And that would have been so cool. Because I would have been the only person I know that did it. And I almost did it. And I would have done it if I had a calculator. I really believe that if I had a calculator, I would have passed it.
Calc is short for calculator.
Like, I am so distraught about that. I really am so fucking torn up over it. Because it was last minute. It was like, boom, taking the test. I had no idea I was going to take it today. So, like, it would have been so fucking cool. It's like, oh, so you're taking the test today? Like, out of nowhere? And then nail it. Fucking would have been amazing. And it would have been like, oh, like, it would have been the best day ever. And then, like, I should have known that I could use the calculator. I don't know what I was thinking. I guess part of me was like, it would be too easy. So surely they're not going to let me do that. Like, I guess that's what I was thinking in my head. Like, there's no way that they're going to let me do that. It's too easy. But I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. Of course I can use a calculator. And everybody I asked were like, yeah, you can use a calculator. I tried communicating with the person that was training me, but they always disappear. That's something you'll notice. Did you notice that when you
they just take their heads off and walk away from the desk.
They're just gone. And when you're finished, like, they're just gone. Like, they were still gone. Did you manage to, like, did you talk to them after you finished?
I did. I sent them a bunch of messages.
Yeah, I did too, but they didn't respond. They got back to me an hour after I had already finished and closed WebEx and started working on my own stuff.
Oh my.
Then they were like, "Oh, hey, yeah, sorry, sounds good." I was like, "Okay." So, but what doesn't matter. Yeah, like, fuck. Ugh. I am very, very upset about that, dude. I could have done it. It would have been awesome. The question, the math stuff is like so obvious. Like, it's literally, if you just read it, it makes perfect sense. Like, the way you solve it is just like, duh. Like, it gives you literally every single thing you need. You don't have to have any prior knowledge about how this stuff works. You just have to not get confused when it goes, the cable is point whatever size and diameter, and then it gives you other numbers. Like, you just have to go, oh, that's an ignorable number. Like, it doesn't fucking matter what diameter the cable is. It doesn't matter if it's 750 gigahertz or hertz. It doesn't matter. None of that part matters. The only thing that matters is what's the loss per foot or footage, and what is the loss per splice, and what is the loss per like, if it's a patch panel, it might be like each port, like each connection to the patch panel has this loss. Each fusion splice has this loss, and it's this amount of loss over this distance. And here's your starting frequency, and this is the distance you're going. So just subtract those numbers from the starting frequency, and figure out the footage by multiplying the frequency loss of the thing by the footage of by the footage. That's it. That's all you gotta do.
Sounds simple enough.
It's extraordinarily straightforward, and like, I think all of the questions were like that, with exception to one of them that was a very specific question about losses between taps, and I didn't know how to do it. If I had a calculator, I probably could have made some educated guesses on what to do in that situation, and maybe gotten to an answer that shows up on the multiple choice. But I didn't do that. So I just kind of looked at it and was like, I don't know, and then guessed, and then moved on.
Still very funny. Everyone calls it the written exam.
It's not. It's so goofy that it's not. But yeah, that's it. We gotta go already. So maybe no episode tomorrow. This might be the end.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out till Friday.
Yar.
That's all. Yay.